Hello everyone, good evening and Hario. Today, welcome to the new episode of Sanskriti Sanskar by Dadu Zen. So today's topic is Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. So here the gum means our tooth. It's all about gum and tooth care. So this is a very special episode we are broadcasting today to our viewers. And for the same, I would like to invite our guest speaker today, Dr. Nikita Desai.
Hello. Good
Hello,
evening to
welcome.
everyone.
Good evening. Welcome, Dr. Nikita, to our show. This is a very special show, and we are honored that you have agreed to be part of this show. Thank you so
I am
much.
sincere.
Yeah,
I'd like to sincerely thank Mr.
yeah,
Dayalji for the same. Thank you for inviting
yes.
me.
Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, where the gum means our tooth. It's sort of all tooth care, and so we continue from here. So I would quickly introduce Dr. Nikita Desai. She has done her BDS from DY Patil Dental College. She is a chief dentist at a very prestigious hospital called Chelaram Diabetes Institute, which is based in Pune. She heads the dental department of the hospital and also looks after the overall operations of the department. She has a vast experience of 13 years, where to their leading dental, and also she has an experience, a specific experience in root canal treatment and other areas like composite veneers, etc., which she will put more light during her talk. So I would like a warm welcome, Dr. Nikita Desai. I would now request Dayal Harjani ji to come and welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Nikita Desai.
Hari Om, Jai Shri Ram,
Hari Om,
Hare
Hari Om,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Namaskaram to all of you, and especially Dr. Nikita ji. In our traditional style, I will welcome you with a Kabir Sahib's Doha. This is how we go normally. Sahib Kabir says, जो मतवारे राम के जो मतवारे राम के लगन होए मन माही लगन होए मन माही जो दर्पण की सुंदरी जो दर्पण की सुंदरी किना ही पकड़ा न जाही. Now this is an Oriya language which very few people will understand. So for the sake of their people's understanding, I've translated this into English with a perfect English rhyme. And the translation Doha comes to those who are beloved of Ram the Lord, those who are beloved of Ram the Lord, engrossed to see him in their heart and mind, engrossed to see him in their heart and mind, as one sees his face as a reflection, as one sees his face as a reflection, none can capture him elsewhere with endeavors of any kind, which simply means that God, being the subtlest of all, cannot be caught. But according to Kabir Sahib, he can surely be seen in the heart, which, like a mirror, reflects his presence. Of course, one must have primarily a longing and an intense yearning for the Lord to be able to feel his divine presence. Now, with that, with his blessings, we will start today's show. Now, Dr. Nikita,
Yes.
before I ask you some questions, can you explain to the audience something about the tooth? If you have a power presentation and you can talk about the tooth, okay? I'll let you go ahead and explain this.
Sure. So we'll first see what exactly the tooth is. So we all know that we have 32 teeth And when there are milk teeth, there are 20 teeth, the set of 20 teeth. And then when the permanent teeth comes, it is set of 32 teeth. And in that also there are different anteriors are called anterior incisors, lateral incisors, then there are canines, then there are premolars and molars. So these are the four different types of teeth which are present in that 32 set of our teeth. So in case like what we see is just the one third of the tooth. Two-third of the tooth is actually inside the bone. That bone is covered with a gum. And this is just the cross section of the tooth where it will explain there is this is enamel. Sure. This is enamel part.
Right.
That is the top layer which is seen. White crown portion or the tooth portion which is seen in the mouth is enamel. Below that is dentine. If you can see the grayish area over here, this
Yeah.
will be dentine. And under that, inner core is pulp. So pulp is basically nothing but blood vessels and nerves supplying to that particular tooth. It doesn't mean that there is only blood supply and nerve supply inside the tooth, but there is surrounding blood vessels and nerves in the bone as well, which is supplying to upper and lower jaw. So this is this. And what we see is the crown portion. As you can see, this is the crown portion which is seen. And the root portion is inside the embedded inside the bone and covered with the gum.
So should it be
These are
upside
the
down?
main parts of
Should this
enamel.
be upside down? Shouldn't be this upside down or what?
No,
The
no. This is what I'm showing you as if you can see a lower tooth or your lower jaw tooth. If you see
oh,
it in a
lower.
cross section,
Yeah.
if you cut the tooth in half, so
Right,
this
right.
is how it will be seen. If you would like to see it as the upper tooth, so then
Then
this
you have to
is the
reverse it.
way
Okay,
it will be.
understood. Okay, got it.
Yes,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So
yes.
is that
So
it?
those are the
Anything
part of
else you can talk about it?
So basically, when the cavity happens to the tooth, the cavity appears in the enamel part, which is the topmost part, which is exposed to tongue, saliva, food. So that is the part which is exposed. And when there is dissolving of this enamel because of the acid which is produced by bacteria in our mouth, where the food particle stays, and the particles are, with the help of bacteria, it starts producing acid. So that acid actually dissolves the enamel portion. So that is where the cavity starts. And slowly, it progresses till the pulp. When it progresses till the pulp, that time we have to go ahead with something called as root canal, which is almost everyone is aware of what root canal treatment is,
Correct.
or rather
Correct.
scared of root canal treatment, I would say. When the cavity is in enamel and dentine, we can usually go ahead with the filling where tooth can be saved, and we did not go ahead with the invasive procedure called as root canal. That is for the tooth part. When the gums get infected, they usually go down, or you can say go up. In case of upper teeth, they
Yeah, yeah.
recede, or the length of the tooth increases, where people say my teeth are looking longer, or they patients say that they look elongated. So in that case, or the gaps have increased in between my teeth, so in that case gum recede, it shrinks. So there are multiple reasons why that happens. First and foremost and very common is wear and tear, like how it happens with our joints. Similarly, or any other tissue in our body for that matter, there is a wear and tear of all kind of tissue, including our hair, nail, skin, all the tissues and bone. So similarly, it just recedes down. So if it progresses too quickly, then the bone also underneath dissolves. Why it dissolves? Again, because of the constant irritation which is happening on the gum in case of tartar or plaque. And then the gums go down, ultimately bone recedes, and the tooth starts getting mobile, or we call it as it has become shaky, it has become loose. When it gets loose, that time there is nothing we can do, we have to go ahead with the extraction. Whatever part, whatever you can say we do to salvage the situation is before that, before the tooth gets loose in the socket. when there is a good bone support. So bone support and gum support is equally important for the tooth.
So gum covers the bone, is it?
Yes, gum covers the bone. I have this model which I can just explain it to you on. So this is something like, if you can, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
as you can see, these are the
Inserting.
anterior. These are anterior teeth. Hmm? So I'll just show this. These are the upper set, and this is the lower set. The pointy teeth at the corner of the mouth, they're canine teeth. The one, two of them just behind them are called premolars.
Hmm.
This and this. And there is molars, these two molars. In this set, there are no wisdom teeth, or you can say third molar, we call it as, or the wisdom tooth, which is commonly known as wisdom tooth. It is not there in the set. So there are only two on each side. Upper
Hmm.
also, two on each side, two on each side. They are the main teeth which help in chewing.
Hmm.
So wisdom tooth actually does not contribute in chewing for that matter. Even if you have to go ahead with the extraction or removal of that particular tooth, so not to fear or not to worry, because it actually doesn't help or aid in chewing. So
Okay.
these are the two teeth which really help in chewing, premolars and molars for that matter, the set of four teeth. Anterior teeth is more of a biting, like a biting a biscuit or a chip or sandwich. Just take a bite out of it. So like that. And the canines are the sharp, pointy teeth at the corner. So there, at the floor of the mouth is tongue. And
Hmm.
this is what we call it as palate.
Correct.
Okay, and this is the tongue. यहाँ पे, like
Fantastic.
our tongue part comes there. And this entire set of teeth is embedded in the bone. And this entire thing is covered in gums, or we call it as oral mucosa, oral tissue. Gums is commonly known as, in medical terms, it is called gingiva.
What a creation.
Yeah.
What's God's creation? I cease to wonder. I cannot stop wondering the beauty of our body, and every part that we have is so important, so correct in its, expressions.
Yes.
Really, it makes me feel more spiritual listening to you and listening to doctors who talk about the complicated and the organs with such expression. They have such expertise.
Mhm.
The Lord is really great. The way He has planted everything into our body.
Yeah.
So now I'll come. I think your introduction, everybody must have understood basic structure of the tooth. And I think we are ready to question you now on the aspects of gum care and tooth care. So, to begin with, what can you advise us in terms of taking care of the tooth and gums?
Okay, first of all, very, very important is brushing technique. So brushing twice daily is very important. दो बार, सुबह उठने पे, रात को सोने
Hmm.
से पहले. So that is
Okay.
2 times we have to brush our teeth. सुबह उठने के बाद क्यों? Because there is a malodor. We have not had anything for quite long time. There is a lot of smell coming out of the mouth. So that is the reason why we go ahead with the brushing of the teeth in the morning. But why is it important at night? दिन भर जो भी खाया है, whatever we have eaten in the full day, all the tiny bit of deposit are there. They are stuck onto your tooth. Even if we are not able to see it, if you open your mouth, you see, no, they're clean. It is clean. Your teeth are clean. No, they are not clean. So there is debris or food particles which are stuck in between your teeth, and they're getting stuck in between the gums and the teeth junction. That is where the plaque, what we call it as plaque accumulation, happens. That has to be cleansed every day. So if that is not done, then there
Hmm.
is something called as calculus or tartar happen. It hardens. Hard हो जाता है. जो soft deposit है, it will go away with the brushing.
So, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
There are many people who, after a meal, they go
Mhm.
and brush their teeth, or they clean, they wash, and or use their fingers on their
Mhm.
gums and the tooth. so relatively they're clean. So
Correct.
is it necessary, if a person does this after every meal, is it
Mhm.
necessary again to brush your teeth in the night?
Yes, I would say you should not brush your teeth throughout the day. I would advise gargling after every meal.
Gargle.
Rinsing your mouth after every meal. You need not use a toothbrush or toothpaste. Too much of usage of toothbrush and toothpaste will harm your teeth. Instead of doing good, it will harm your teeth because you're upgrading again and again. You're rubbing your teeth again and again. So I would suggest gargling or rinsing is good enough. So
Good
that
enough.
will prevent the cavities, that will prevent the food accumulation. But nighttime brushing, I will come to flossing as well. So that is also very, very important before going to sleep. Nighttime brushing is highly recommended. It has to be done.
So, in that case, uh, what can you guide us in terms of the toothbrush, the
Yes,
toothpaste, and the
yes.
mouthwash? And
Yes.
nowadays, there are so many Ayurvedic
Mhm.
materials, and sometimes there's a confusion.
Right.
What is the best choice that we have
Correct.
in order to protect our teeth and gum? So, can you
Mhm.
elaborate on that?
Yes. Let's go step by step. Let's look at the toothbrushes. So there are many types of brands and toothbrushes available in the market. In case of toothbrush, people tend to use soft toothbrush. So unless and until it is advised by your dentist कि आपको advice किया है, you have bleeding gums, you have sensitive teeth, or for some other reason, if dentist has advised कि आप soft toothbrush use करिए, then only soft toothbrush use करना है. Otherwise, please go ahead with the regular medium bristle toothbrush. It is very important. Otherwise, क्या होता है कि people go in the market and then they buy it by themselves. And the bristles are so soft, you don't feel that your teeth are getting clean. So people tend to apply more pressure. So ज़्यादा प्रेशर की वजह से क्या होता है कि दांत में नॉचेस आना शुरू हो जाता है. So
क्या
the enamel starts wearing under the pressure of your hand.
see?
Brush
Correct.
which is applying, pressure to the tooth. So that is called abrasion. That is again a different condition. So that is what happens. So usually we recommend go ahead with any brand of toothbrush. Oral B hai, Colgate hai, whichever is easily available over the counter, but go ahead with only medium bristle or the regular bristle. अभी hard bristle और ये सब available है ही नहीं market में. Earlier they used to make those, but nowadays they have very refined bristles and everything. So you can go ahead with any kind of toothbrush unless and until it is advised to go ahead with a
So,
soft or extra soft toothbrush. There is something called as electric toothbrush as well. I'll just show you. So this is the one from Oral B. So this is very, very good when patients are not able to improve their brushing technique. Sometimes I'll show you how the brushing is done, what strokes to use. So this has a circular motion.
correct.
Whether it is seen, yeah,
Hmm.
I think it is visible.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this has a circular motion itself, and it is very good and effective. So if at all for the kids also, people who have braces also can go ahead with the electric toothbrush. Anybody can go ahead with electric toothbrush. Only problem earlier was that we never used to get the brush head to get to replace. Nowadays, it is very easily available. Brush heads are also easily available. As we recommend that we have to change our toothbrush within 2 months or 3 months of time because of the bacterial accumulation which happens. The bristle gets frayed, so the cleansing doesn't happen the way it should be. So that is the reason why we recommend at least 3 months में एक बार आपको toothbrush बदलना ही बदलना है. So in this case
So
also,
we have to every 3 months. You advise to change the
yes,
brush.
yes, yes.
Okay, that's an important thing because many people don't realize that.
Yes, we
But
need to change it.
when we keep the brush, should it be covered or
Yes, yes.
is
It
it,
is a very important aspect. The brush has to be covered. If at all, your toilet and bathroom or the basin is close to each other. It is very important that the brush is covered, because when you flush the toilet, whatever the bacteria, whatever the germs which are there, they usually come in sort of a aerosol and settle onto the toothbrush. So they have to be covered, or they have to be kept quite a distance apart.
Are
It shouldn't be close to your toilet. That is very
really
important.
important. Huh?
Very important.
See, we neglect so many things in life.
Yes.
We take things for granted. So I think today's program will be very highly beneficial and educational for all of us, including people like us at our age. So, so before I give you Vishal to continue the question, I have
Mhm.
one question. Then, in
Yes.
that case, how do we prevent cavities?
Preventing cavities is based on many factors. It is, first of all, as I mentioned, what is there in our hands. What we can do is brush twice daily, rinse after every meal. If kids or adults are having any kind of sticky food, or जैसे biscuit है, chips है, pastries है, where we cannot make sure that kids are not eating, because they tend to ask for it and they eat it. So उसके बाद क्या करना है? They need to eat something which is something like एप्पल, क्यूकम्बर, गुआवा। ये सारी चीजें खाने पे क्या होगा? देयर इज लॉट ऑफ फाइबर एंड वाटर कंटेंट विच विल डू द क्लीनिंग ऑफ द टीथ. So you cannot make everyone roam around with the brush. कुछ भी खा लिया brush करो. That is just not practically possible. So rinsing after every meal, and in case if you eat anything sticky or very refined which gets stuck onto your gums and your teeth, like a bakery product or something, so try to eat something raw like cucumber, apple. That is the easiest. You just grab it, you eat, so that this cleansing activity happens nicely.
Can you repeat that again for everyone? So,
Yes.
what should we focus on to cleanse our teeth naturally by
Yes.
eating? So, one is
Yes.
apple,
Yes,
one is
apple है,
cucumber,
cucumber,
guava,
guava,
and, and
anything
then,
which has a rich fiber content.
for example, any rich fiber content.
जैसे watermelon है, water content and fiber content has to be in a higher quantity, like cucumber, apple, guava. Apple is very readily available, and it is available throughout the year. So that is the reason why I mentioned, you tend to chew more. There is lot of juices flowing from the apple, and the saliva also produced, so the cleansing activity happens.
Does
The
the apple a
cleaning
day keep
activity.
the doctor away then?
Yes, yes.
Then, then,
That is actually true.
then doctors may not be needed.
Yes. So
Anyway,
that is
that's
the main thing
so.
which you can do to
So,
prevent the
for the
cavity.
sake of our viewers, I'll repeat once again that
Yes.
after every meal, not after every meal, or because they say it's not good to eat fruits after a meal. So, at
Yes.
what time do you eat these fruits?
Early in the morning, say after breakfast, like mid morning snack, they call it 10:30, 11. And
Yeah.
at 4 o'clock, 4:30 to 5:30 के बीच में वाला जो time है, before sunset.
So, you
So
should
that
have
is the.
fruits before sunset, according to you, and
So
before a
usually
meal.
that is what they recommend in Ayurveda, that it is not good to eat fruits at night because of the acid which has been produced. So
I
there
see.
are few fruit which are
Interesting.
exception,
Yeah.
but otherwise tell to avoid.
So, bottom line is no fruits in the night,
Yes,
before
but
or after a
salad is
meal.
definitely recommended, like carrot, cucumber, definitely recommended.
No. So, now, in terms of fruit, for the
Mhm.
sake of our viewers, I'll just repeat once again that fruits are to be eaten before sunset,
Yes,
recommended by you.
yes,
And the fruits that are important is apple,
yes,
guava,
yes.
watermelon to reduce the acid content of your saliva or whatever, right?
Yes. Acid content or the food which is stuck onto your tooth and gum.
Cucumber is a vegetable, so
Yes,
uh, so then are there any other vegetables which are
yes,
important?
yes. Cucumber, carrot, anything which comes under the salad
Correct.
category, like raw, which you can eat, tomato. then there is carrots, then there is cucumber, lettuce. So all of that can be eaten.
So lettuce also is good for
Yes,
cleansing.
yes, 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 definitely.
Cleanses actually the teeth. I mean, in a sense.
Basically what happens is when the fiber content is high, we tend to chew a lot. The chewing,
Hmm.
जैसे बोलते हैं कि you have to chew your bite 32 times for it to get digested in a good way. So why
Hmm.
is that said? Because when we chew our food mindfully, we tend to eat less. That is one. Other is saliva mixes very nicely with the food which you are chewing. There is a good amount of salivary production where the digestion actually starts in the mouth itself. Digestion doesn't start when the food enters your stomach or your small intestine. No, it starts in the mouth itself. If you chew your food properly, it gets digested well. Whatever the juices or the saliva is produced in the mouth, it gets nicely mixed with the food which you are eating, and then the digestion process become easier. Because of that saliva and the fiber, the cleaning activity of the teeth happen. You feel squeaky clean. You eat such food, it could be vegetable or fruit. You feel your teeth are squeaky clean.
But then people will say if you are brushing our teeth twice a day, then
Yes.
there's no point having fruits for
No.
the purpose of cleaning your tooth or teeth, except for nutritional value. So how would
So
you?
no, brushing, see, with the toothbrush, what happens is it goes in a very small portions of your whatever is in between your teeth, interdental area, what we call it as, gums pe hai, daant pe hai, inner side pe hai.
Hmm,
So this will do the gross cleaning of your mouth,
hmm,
and brushing will help with the finer cleaning. So जहाँ पे
okay.
भी थोड़ा बहुत अटका है, which is not been getting cleansed by eating raw food, definitely the brushing helps. Brushing is highly recommended because the bristles are so small. It goes into all the crevices which are there. You can easily clean them or brush it out of the mouth.
Can you explain the people what actually you mean by fiber? I mean, it's a childish question maybe, but can you once
Okay.
again that why rich fiber and why water rich in water?
Mhm. So basically, where you have to chew your food, which is not processed. Fibrous food is non-processed food. You can say, like
Hmm,
fruits and vegetable, where we eat raw, they have lot of fiber. So when we cook them, it becomes soggy. You can say soggy, or it is cooked, it is boiled, it is mashed. It has already been mashed or just a soft ho jata hai, and then
hmm,
you eat it. All you have to do is gulp, so
hmm,
your
hmm,
teeth do not have any activity as such. So
hmm.
when your teeth needs activity, when we recommend sugar free gum, why do we recommend that? So it is for the cleaning purpose only, for cleaning your teeth, instead of using in intermittently. If you're using mouthwash can cause little bit of staining over the
Is
period
it?
of time. You continuously use the mouthwash. Yes, I'll come to mouthwash as well. So mouthwash, it is something which you should not use continuously, because the content which are there will cause a little bit of staining or the yellowing of the teeth over the period of time. It
Oh,
won't
really?
happen immediately, but over the period of time, yes.
I don't think many of us know this. That
Yes.
mouthwash makes your teeth yellowish.
Yes, they do. They do. So unless and until it is recommended, or you have a really bad case of malodor or halitosis, what we call it as, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
बदबू आ रहा है. So in that case, if you are recommended, then only definitely go ahead with the mouthwash. Otherwise, in kids also, we do not recommend any kind of mouthwash. आपका
पर
gum health कैसा है?
तो
Yes, sorry,
खाना
go.
जो खाना है तो बैठ
Mhm.
के खाना चाहिए आजकल वेस्ट में तो people stand and eat, they walk and eat also. So these are how does this fit in with your gum care and tooth care? So
No, it is it is very, very damaging to gums and teeth also, because they are actually not paying attention to the food also, and not paying attention to what they're chewing or eating also.
hmm,
So ultimately, the negligence is everywhere. with the food also, with their teeth also, with their gums also. So definitely you should sit and drink water, sit and eat your food for sure.
So that reminds me of a Zen saying. It's called hurry slowly. It's a koan. Hurry slowly. So whatever you do, if you want to hurry, by all means, but do it slowly in a relaxed way. So
Very
now
well.
I'll let Vishal continue asking you. Vishal,
Yes,
please,
yes.
you've
Yeah,
been
sure.
sitting quite too long and getting
Yeah, yeah, no
bored.
worries. No,
You
no,
go.
no. I mean, I'm listening
Go
to
ahead.
the conversation and it's really helpful for everyone and me as
Go
well.
ahead. I'll go into relaxation.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So, Dr. Nikita, we'll just continue a few questions which I have in
Sure,
mind, and maybe it will
sure,
help
sure.
all the viewers. So,
Yes,
you mentioned about floss when you were
yes,
talking about
yes,
gum care. So, can
yes.
you elaborate like what exactly? See, I have heard about floss, and
Mm-hmm.
there is a thread which is available in all the medical stores.
Mm-hmm.
But very few people, I have hardly seen any person flossing unless the doctor doesn't advise. So,
Correct.
is it okay to floss on yourself without the advice, and how should we floss? If you can just elaborate on
Yes. So basically, flossing, what flossing does, when you're brushing your teeth, you're not able to go in between the teeth. So this is the portion. Just so I'll just mention it right here. So if it is seen, I don't know. Yeah.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
in this case, in between those two teeth, there is a gap. There is a fine gap, or there is a tight contact, we say, which is not seen with the naked eyes, but it
Hmm.
is there. So वहां पे खाना फंस जाता है. There are many patients who come with a complaint कि दो दांतों के बीच में cavity कैसे हो गया, वहां पे तो खाना फंसता नहीं है, but फंसता है. And that is where the flossing comes in handy. Where plaque, वहां पे अगर plaque deposition है, food lodgement है, तो वो clean कैसे करना है. So floss is something like a waxed thread. I'll just show you. So this is how it comes in. Like
Right.
just
Right.
so there are many brands available. Oral B hai, Colgate hai, whichever is handy. Thermoseal hai. Any brand which is handy, you can go ahead with any kind of brand that is there. So in flossing, what we do is this is like thread. I don't know if it is seen.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
I've
it's a
seen.
nice thread, very smooth. All you have to do is tie around your middle fingers like
Okay.
this. I'll just tilt my camera so that it is seen. Just a moment. I need to show you actually. I'll
Yeah.
just try to hold and show. So what we do is actually, so but you have to hold the thread like this. No?
Okay.
The middle finger,
Right.
yeah, like
Yeah.
this. Keep your index finger free, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have to put it in your teeth. I'm not able to show you here. I'll just try to demonstrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just see.
But can it reach to the last as well?
Yes,
Or?
like this, it goes down,
Okay.
and then you have to move it to and fro. आगे
Okay.
पीछे करना है, and then you have to lift it. It
Okay.
comes out.
Right.
So this is for the anterior teeth. I don't know whether it is seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Just
seen. Yeah.
down
Yeah.
here. So this is
Yeah.
how it comes down. और आगे पीछे करेंगे तो whatever has been stuck
Right.
in
Right.
between teeth which is stuck, it will come out.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
this comes in thread also. और दूसरा आता है टूथपिक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है. Then on
Okay.
that the floss is stretched onto, so it is
Mm.
easier to use.
Right.
और जो पेशेंट के दांत में गैप है, if there is a gap in between, there is something called as interdental brush. ऐसे
Okay.
छोटे bristles वाला brush आता है.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very small and pointy. In this case also what we do is, जैसे गैप बन गया दांतों में,
Mm.
so this part which is
Mm.
not cleansed by toothbrush also,
Right.
toothbrush से भी ये part clean नहीं होता है. When
Right.
there is foods getting stuck in between your teeth onto your
Right.
gum, so
Right.
ये ऐसे अंदर बाहर जाएगा
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Right.
like this, to and
Right.
fro,
Right.
to and fro. So this is how you clean interdental area. जहाँ पे फ्लॉस कब यूज करना है, जहाँ कॉन्टैक्ट बहुत टाइट है, दिस ब्रश डजंट वर्क एट दैट टाइम व्हेन द कॉन्टैक्ट्स आर वेरी टाइट, आपके दांत एकदम अच्छे से
Right.
टाइटली प्लेस्ड है। बट
Right.
जहाँ पे थोड़ा भी गैप बन गया है, डेंटिस्ट विल एडवाइज यू कि गो हेड विद समथिंग कॉल्ड एज इंटरडेंटल टूथब्रश। अदरवाइज क्या होगा, गम पे प्लाक अक्यूमुलेशन, फूड अक्यूमुलेशन हो के वहां पे इरिटेशन होके रेडनेस आना चालू हो जाएगा गम्स पे।
Right.
देन
Right.
पेशेंट कंप्लेन ऑफ मेरे मसूड़े से खून आ रहा है या फिर
Uh-huh.
पस आ रहा है। इन दैट केस द गम इज गेटिंग इन्फेक्टेड। So that is
Right.
the reason why we recommend flossing and interdental brush both
Right.
to
Right.
take care of your gums.
Understood. Understood. That's insightful. But does it work deep this portion also, the flossing? How does it work?
Yes, yes. So this technique will be like I'll be able to show it very easily in person. We all we have to do is again stretch the thread across your
Mm-hmm.
fingers
Yeah.
like this, the floss, and just
Yeah.
open wide and put it.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
it from behind to I like just say
Okay.
that you'll be easily once you get hang of it, it is very easy. Till the time
Super.
you're not comfortable, it is difficult ये कैसे डालूं क्या करना है, so that's why
Mm.
that time वो stretched वाला जो floss है that comes in
Right.
handy. So easily you
Right.
can just put it like stretch your cheek जैसे brushing
Right.
करते हैं वैसे ही
Right.
आपको बस दो
Okay.
दांतों के बीच में अच्छे से place करना है to clean them.
Understood. Right. Right. Understood. Understood. So the next question is that the common problem which we see, especially in India, what I've seen is many of people struggle with natural staining, where I don't know, they are not used to any tobacco or some cigarette or something, but still their teeth have a lot of stains, and they are
Yes,
natural stains, and sometimes with habits also you get stains, and
yes,
over a period of time they want to remove those stains, and
correct.
most of the time there is a natural yellowish color which I've seen among many people, which when you
Yes.
talk it lowers your confidence, and you're always
Hmm.
conscious about
Smile.
the stains on your teeth, your smile, and
Correct.
so can you just put a light on this, like what is the solution,
Yeah.
and what exactly can be done about it?
Sure. So basically, what happens with our teeth is we Indians have already, predisposition towards having yellowish sort of teeth. So why? First of all, as you mentioned, yellowish है. सबके ही दांत yellowish है. If you see foreigners, they have more of a chiclet white kind of
Yeah,
teeth.
true.
But in our case, we have lot of haldi, masala, chai, coffee in our diet. बिना
Mhm.
हल्दी की सब्जी बनती ही नहीं है. So
Right.
that also contributes in the yellowish tone itself. Even if your teeth are very clean, but they will have that yellowish tone
Right.
because of that is called external. जैसे बाहरी चीज की वजह से the teeth are getting stained. Even if
Right.
patient is not having any tobacco chewing नहीं है, smoking नहीं है, फिर
Right.
भी yellowish है. Chai, coffee, masala, haldi is the main reason.
Mhm.
Apart from that, दांत को yellowish tone क्यों आता है? The
Hmm.
dentine. Do you remember at the very beginning we discussed enamel, dentine, and pulp? So the pulp tissue hai, that
Hmm.
is red in color, completely red because it is blood vessel and nerve. So when
Right.
we open pulp chamber, it is actually red because blood vessel hai. Dentine part jo hai, that is completely yellowish, and enamel part is white. In the
Hmm.
patients who have more dentine और dentine का color जिनका strong है,
Hmm.
उनके केस में yellowish ज्यादा दिखेंगे दांत. जिनके
Right.
केस में enamel is stronger or you can say enamel is more, in that case दांत ज्यादा white दिखेंगे. So
Hmm.
again, this is a genetic predisposition also. You cannot control anything in this. जो जैसा आप अपने मतलब आया है मॉम डैड से वैसा ही आपको
Hmm.
उसी टाइप का टूथ स्ट्रक्चर रहेगा. So what we can do for reducing the stains, there is something called as in office bleaching. जैसे स्किन का ब्लीचिंग होता है वैसे दांत का भी ब्लीचिंग होता है, which
Okay.
is very safe nowadays. It is not at all harmful or damaging to the teeth. उसमें भी क्या करते हैं हम लोग, there is a in office product which is there, it is a peroxide base. So उसमें हम लोग दांत के ऊपर वो कोट करते हैं. In that case also only जितना स्माइल आपका कवर होता है प्रीमोलर टू प्रीमोलर उतना ही हम लोग टीथ वाइटनिंग करते हैं लोअर और अपर पे। तो उसमें एक या दो शेड आपका लाइट आ जाता है विद द ब्लीचिंग प्रोसेस। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर बाहरी चीज से या फिर डिपॉजिट है, टोबैको च्यूइंग हैबिट है, स्टेन्स आ गए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द फूड पार्टिकल विच इज नॉट बीन क्लीन प्रॉपरली, इन दैट केस क्लीनिंग और हम लोग स्केलिंग जिसे बोलते हैं, दांत धुलवाना जिसे बोलते हैं, वेरी वेरी कॉमन टर्म, दांत धोने हैं। So that is cleaning or oral prophylaxis, which is recommended once in a year at least. So
Okay.
उसमें हम लोग दांत के ऊपर जो भी स्टेन्स है, एक्सट्रिंसिक स्टेन्स, दांत का कलर नहीं चेंज होगा, इट विल स्टे द सेम, बट दांत के ऊपर जो स्टेन्स है दैट विल बी रिमूव्ड इन दैट प्रोसेस। So that
So
is called as scaling.
does this scaling process harm by any chance if it is done
No,
once a
no,
year?
that is again a myth. The instrument has a oscillatory movement. जैसे ऐसे हिलने वाला movement होता है, it's oscillatory
Right.
movement, and it's a
Okay.
different instrument. तो उस पे हम लोग दांत के और गम के बीच में जो भी डिपॉजिट्स है या फिर गंध है, it will just move it and dislodge it from the tooth surface. दांत के
Okay.
surface से वो just उसको lift करेगा और wash off करेगा. This is not at all damaging to the tooth. जैसे हम लोग कैविटी क्लीन करते हैं, उसके ऊपर जो 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 मशीन है उसके ऊपर जो बर होता है, दैट एक्चुअली कट द टूथ, इट एक्चुअली
Okay.
कट्स द टूथ। वो हम लोग ड्रिल करके क्लीन करके उसको कट करते हैं टूथ पोर्शन को, बट इन दिस केस वी डू नॉट कट और स्क्रेप टूथ पोर्शन। जो दांत के ऊपर ऑलरेडी डिपॉजिट है वो डिसलॉज
Okay.
करते हैं।
Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood. That is very insightful because, as you said, it's a myth. Many people
Yes,
don't do it because they think that over a
yes,
period of time, if you do a lot of scaling, then it will harm your teeth.
no,
So that
no,
was really insightful. And
yes,
just related to this, the same question, a lot of people also suffer from bad breath. So this
yes,
bad breath is caused by plaque, or it has something to do with the tooth, or it is a natural thing which comes from within the throat. I'm not sure. Many people have this problem, but it is so
Mhm.
embarrassing that to address this problem to someone also is sometimes
Correct,
very tricky. Maybe he
correct,
may get offended, but
of
you
course,
try to stay away from such people who have constantly a bad breath, which they don't realize somehow. So,
correct.
how to handle this, and what is the remedy for this?
Yes. So handling part is quite tricky, as you said. Yeah, the person might get offended just by telling. That is again the जो भी है close relatives है that can
Right.
do the job actually for that matter. But what goes wrong medically? So first and foremost is dehydration. पानी
Okay.
हम लोग अगर इनफ नहीं पीते हैं इंटरमिटेंटली, इट्स नॉट
Hmm.
लाइक कि सुबह 1 लीटर पी लिया, दोपहर में 1 लीटर पी
Hmm.
लिया, नो, इंटरमिटेंटली आपको बीच बीच में हाइड्रेट होना ही है, पानी पीना है। दैट विल प्रिवेंट माल ओडर। मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इट हैपेंस बिकॉज ऑफ द डिहाइड्रेशन। That is one part. Second is, as we know, onions and garlic, usually alcohol, onion, garlic, ये जो substance है, it is actually malodor causing है। So if you can avoid, so it is better to avoid them, otherwise they give you a really bad breath. So that is one factor. Second is cleaning of the tongue is also very important during the brushing time. So आजकल brush के पीछे वाले side पे there is uneven surface which comes. So that is actually tongue cleaner. So you can use
Oh,
actually the back of your brush to just scrape your tongue. Scrape मतलब
okay.
just आपको very gently, not जोर जोर से, very gently you just have to scrape the tongue so that whatever is deposits are there on the tongue also are getting cleaned during the brushing. So brushing के टाइप पे आपको टंग भी क्लीन डेफिनेटली करना है. If that is not clean, again that could be one of the factor for माल ओडर. दूसरी चीज है मेडिसिन. कौन से टाइप के मेडिसिन, इफ पेशेंट इज ऑन मेडिसिन फॉर क्वाइट लॉन्ग, उसका जो बाय प्रोडक्ट है, उनको एसिडिटी हो रहा है, उसके कारण भी बैड ब्रेथ हो सकता है. सो फॉर दैट वी नीड द कंसल्टेशन. कोई विटामिन का डेफिशिएंसी है, टंग
Right.
को ड्राइनेस है या फिर पैचेस है, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द विटामिन B12 डेफिशिएंसी, दैट आल्सो कॉजेस अगेन माल ओडर. टंग पे अगर इन्फेक्शन है, कोई फंगल इन्फेक्शन आता है, कोई कैंडिडियासिस वगैरह जैसी कंडीशन है, देयर इज अ वाइट डिपॉजिट ऑन योर टंग विच पेशेंट इज नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई दैट इज हैपनिंग, सो दैट कुड बी वन ऑफ द रीजन. अगेन वेरी कॉमन इज कैविटी. दांत में कैविटी है, patient is not addressing the cavity because it is not painful. Usually
Right.
patient tend to come जब पेन होता है तभी डॉक्टर के पास जाना है. So the food is getting accumulated in that cavity. वो फूड के कारण भी आपको माल ऑर्डर हो सकता है. It's very very common.
Okay, okay. So
These are
this
all the
was
reasons.
very new. This is very new that behind the toothbrush,
Yes.
the I think there is something which you showed, like it's texture
Yes.
kind of a thing, which
Texture
is
kind
used
of.
for.
It is very common in toothbrushes these days. Even if it is not there, you can use this part also. The bristle part also can be used as a tongue cleaner. It is not something कि वो नहीं है तो अभी क्या करना है, nothing. You can use the bristle part also. Very gently just tongue को scrape करना है आगे पीछे to and fro motion में. Just like this.
Surprisingly, this is not advertised. There's so many advertisements about toothbrushes and
Mhm.
toothpaste, but no one. I have never seen any company advertising about the tongue cleaning on the backside. They're very
Right.
insightful. It's very nice. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so this bed breath also it can be natural.
It could be natural. Again, there are multiple factors. How आपका digestion कैसा है? If there is
Okay.
indigestion is happening, patient is suffering from acidity. Even if कोई medicine नहीं है, but आपका acidic tendency है, आपको बार बार गले में आ रहा है, there is a acidic fluid which is coming in the
Right.
mouth. In that case, again the malodor, which is very very, we have to address it step by step. अगर वी हैव टू रूल आउट, अगर ये नहीं है तो ये हो सकता है, ये नहीं है तो ये हो सकता है. सो देन दैट इज हाउ वी गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप.
Many people use this salt, baking soda, and all these things to try to whiten their teeth on their own cells. Is it good to use, or how it is?
No, no, it is definitely not recommended by any of the dentist, I would say, because salt or baking soda में क्या होता है, it is very gritty, or you can say coarse granules होते हैं.
Right.
एंड हम लोग जब अगर दांत देखेंगे अपने, दे आर वेरी नाइस, स्मूथ एंड ग्लॉसी. जस्ट
Right.
इमेजिन कोई सरफेस है, उस पे हम लोग स्टोन या फिर रफ कोई भी चीज रगड़ रहे हैं, that will create unevenness on the teeth, that will create scratches. Very very easy term to understand. जैसे दांत पे scratches आ जाते हैं, and that will catch more stains, that will damage your enamel. Salt and baking soda both. But having said that, salt is actually अगर आप लूक वार्म वाटर में सॉल्ट डाल के गार्गल्स करते हैं,
Gargle
दैट इज द बेस्ट माउथ वॉश
Right.
यू कैन हैव. It's very very good, very very anti-inflammatory. Salt has very good properties. It is not something which is direct. Salt दांत पे रगड़ना, नींबू लेके रगड़ना is not recommended for sure. But आप warm water gargles or warm saline gargles as we call it, warm पानी में salt डाल के you gargle them. It is very good for your gums, and
What about
it has a
the
cleaning property.
sensitivity there? Yeah. Right. Right.
Hmm.
Understood. Thank you.
Can
So,
you
what are
start?
the? Yeah, just the last question, Dada. Just 2 minutes. So, what is the cure for sensitive? Many people have sensitive teeth when they, try to drink something sour, or they have a lot of irritation on the teeth. So, any just quickly, if you can just brief on that.
Yes, yes. So sensitivity, why the sensitivity happens basically, there is a wear and tear of enamel. As I said, in case of this, sensitivity part happens mostly in old patients, mostly I'm saying, because the enamel wears off over the period of time, और आपका dentin exposed है मुंह में. At that time, your teeth are sensitive. In that case, you are recommended something like anti-sensitivity toothpaste, which helps in controlling the sensitivity. There is no 100% cure for sensitivity. This is something, और अगर यही young patient में हो रहा है, why it is happening? Anything extreme cold, anything extreme hot,
Yeah.
anything extreme sour will give you sensitivity. If
Okay.
you eat normal food, like बहुत ही ठंडा खा लिया, एंटीरियर जो है हमारे सबसे नीचे वाले दांत है, दे आर वेरी वेरी थिन एंड स्मॉलेस्ट टीथ इन द सेट. So
Right.
that will definitely cause sensitivity if you eat ice cream. किसी किसी को रेजिन्स या फिर डेट, मनुका जिसे बोलते हैं हम लोग,
Right.
डेट्स या फिर रेजिन खा लिया तो एकदम शार्प पेन आ जाता है
Mm,
पेशेंट को काफी
mm,
बार. दैट इज
correct.
एक्सट्रीम स्वीट. So when that
Mm.
hits your tooth, then definitely you're going to get sensitivity. If everything is in moderation, it will not give you sensitivity.
Right.
So I
Thank you
just
so
want
much.
to tell you, there is no 100% cure for sensitivity. So you have to
Understood.
use anti-sensitivity toothpaste for a while, for a month or two, to get it settled. Or there is something in-house in the clinic. What we do is we apply. There is something called as a like a varnish. It comes in. We
Right.
coat the teeth so that it stays for a few months and controls the sensitivity, desensitizing agent sort of.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So it was very insightful the way you answered very clearly, and everybody, hope everybody understood, and they will implement in their lives to have a better, they have a good. Dada, over to you.
I would like to recapitulate everything now. There are some questions
Yes.
uh, regarding the is there any substitute for flossing? 'Cause everybody cannot do flossing. I mean, if somebody
Yes.
were to ask me to floss, I would get bored. I'm sure there must
Uh,
be many people like me. So,
so there is
what
some.
choice you have? What alternative you have?
This is very very easy to use, but again it is been recommended for the patients who have undergone, who have gum problem, prevalent
Hmm,
gum problems, whose gums get repeatedly bleeding gums हैं या फिर gum infection हो रहा है. So this is something called as water flosser, what we call it as. So this
hmm,
has pulsating movement here. I'll just switch it on and show you. I hope there is no water in this.
hmm.
Yeah, it has
Okay.
a pulsating action. So वो gum पे you have to point it in such a way onto your gum
Hmm.
that it clears that area. It is basically pressurized water. So you have to put it like this. I don't know whether it is seen,
Yeah.
like that. In between जहाँ पे दो दांतों के बीच में खाना फंसता है, where actually the brushing is not helping, और ब्रशिंग करने के बाद भी it is not getting cleansed, there the water flosser comes very handy. So इसमें दो तीन brands है which is very easily available on Amazon also. Water pick करके है, Ora Cura करके है, this is I don't know, Vertex करके है. So there are many brands which have come up with the water flosser.
So,
So
how
you can
often we should do the flossing? I mean, this
once in a,
water
once in a day,
once in a day
at night. So
at
everything
night.
comes down to night only, because whatever you're eating for full day is getting
Right.
accumulated. As I said, even if you're rinsing after every meal, if you're eating fibrous food, still there are deposits onto your teeth. So after brushing, flossing is definitely recommended at night, once in a day, once at night.
Some people are asking that
Mhm.
what is the effect of gargling or washing your what do you call that, rinsing your mouth with alcohol, whiskey or brandy or something like that. What
Mm,
is
no,
no?
it is not. It is definitely not recommended. In case of mouthwash, also we advise non-alcoholic mouthwash, because there are mouthwashes in the market which has alcohol content, which will give you malodor. Again, as I said,
I
onion,
see.
garlic, alcohol will give you malodor. It will give you stains. It will make your teeth yellowish. So that has to be understood. Alcohol is definitely not going to help in cleaning of your teeth.
I see.
There is something called as oil pulling, which has come up recently. It
Hmm.
is age old practice, but it is
Yeah,
picked up
correct.
nowadays. So oil
Right.
pulling, it is mainly for the hydration of your gums, mainly for the hydration and cleaning of your gums. So oil pulling, not everyone can do it. You cannot sustain or hold the oil for so long in your mouth. Instead, just the warm water, as I said, warm saline gargle जो बोलते हैं हम लोग, नमक डाल के warm पानी, hold it in your mouth like this for few seconds, ऐसे करके. So that will give hot fermentation. जैसे हम लोग सेकते हैं गरम किसी भी चीज से या फिर ठंडे
Hmm.
से. In
Hmm.
this case, the warmth or the hot fermentation will increase the blood circulation of the gums and make the gums healthy. So that is definitely recommended. So instead of, oil pulling is not for everyone. Not everyone can go ahead with oil pulling. So
So
this
which
will
oil is recommended for oil pulling?
so that there is again the controversy with it. There are many oils or cold press oils which are recommended, but we do not usually advise it because it is too oily. To hold the oil, edible oil है, cold press coconut oil है, या फिर कोई clove oil से बोलता है. There are many speculations about it, but we do not recommend any sort of oil. I would recommend warm water and salt will be more beneficial than all of this. All like माउथ वॉश है या फिर ऑयल पुलिंग है, दिस विल हेल्प मोर.
What about items like ginger? Is ginger good?
Yes, like in terms of, I did not get you, sir.
No, is ginger good for cleaning your mouth or your freshen your mouth or your teeth?
Mm, so mint और fennel leaves, fennel seeds, sorry, सौंफ जिसे बोलते हैं हम लोग, fennel seeds या फिर mint, that will help, not the ginger.
Not ginger.
Not ginger.
So you were talking about bad halitosis.
Yes.
One of my, of course, you've given many reasons, but
Mm.
one of the major reason of halitosis is indigestion. What I
Yes.
understand. So people with a
Yes.
bad stomach
Mm-hmm.
have a natural tendency to have bad breath.
Correct.
So it's not only the issue of tooth or gum care, but it is a bad breath also is due to basic a weak stomach,
Yes.
indigestion or whatever you may
Yes.
call it.
Yes.
So now we will come to the final questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is the treatment and cure for cavities and
Mm-hmm.
sensitive teeth and bleeding gums? What do you think? Or missing teeth, or what is the mobile teeth people are talking about?
Okay, so let's go ahead with the cavities first. In case of cavities, what we do is like the prevention part. हम लोग ने देख लिया. We have to keep. We have to brush twice daily. We have to rinse after every meal to avoid cavities. So cavity अगर हो जाता है तो what then? Do not wait till the time your tooth starts hurting. Is what I would say. If you see a small black spot also on your tooth, go ahead and get it filled. Go ahead and ask dentist whether it is a cavity, whether it is a active cavity. Then dentist will definitely recommend to go ahead with the filling. If you go at when जब टाइम है कि आपका दांत दर्द करने लगता है या फिर बहुत ज्यादा सेंसिटिव है, at that time you visit the dentist, it is already too late. The tooth is going to go for root canal. So root, it is not something which will not save the tooth. It will definitely save the tooth, but it is always better to prevent cavities. Agar cavity hota hai to go ahead with the filling, and then last resort is root canal. You save the tooth with root canal. Agar root canal bhi fail hota hai, or if it is not possible in the tooth, like बहुत ही damaged है, so then ultimately we have to remove the tooth or extract the tooth.
Can you say something about root canal and why is
Yes.
it so painful?
Actually, it is not painful, sir. It was. Earlier, the techniques were different. Right now, it is not that painful. It is the fear which, some people have experienced, and, what you say, the bad mouthing happens. कि इतना pain हुआ, इतना ज़्यादा pain हुआ, it is so bad. It's all because of that, but it is definitely not that painful. Having said that, I've undergone root canal myself, so I know how the procedure feels for the patient. So
How
I
come person like you have gone through root canal?
no, it was in my childhood actually. It was in my childhood actually. So we had to,
It's,
when I was almost like 12 or 13 years old. At that time, I
yeah.
had gone ahead with, but it was not painful. I do not have any traumatic dental memories for that matter. So it was done very nicely. It was definitely not painful. So in case of root canal, what we do is we have to first take the X-ray of the tooth to see the extent of the cavity, to just to see how the roots of the teeth are, how much deep the cavity has progressed, and then we go ahead with the cleaning of the tooth. I'll just show you on the model itself. So in this case, what we do is when the cavity has reached till pulp, it could be from the side, it could be from the top, it could be from anywhere. So when the tooth cavity is reached here, we go ahead with cleaning of this part. Then we prepare the canals, we clean this part, we wash it off, we put some medication inside the roots, we seal the tooth. It is for 4 to 5 days, or if at all the infection is very high, then we go ahead with 7 days of break. And then we remove the temporary filling which has been placed in the first sitting. Second sitting maybe we again clean or wash it, and then we fill it with the material called as gata parcha. It is a very commonly used material for the root canal sealing. We seal the canals at this level where it actually starts with the gata parcha. And this top portion, which is seen in the mouth, is covered with the cavity filling material, which is tooth colored material, actually, tooth colored cement, what we call it as, that has been filled in the tooth. And that is how we save the tooth. But after that, if the tooth is a molar tooth or the one at the back, it has lot of chewing pressure onto it. After cavity, after doing root canal, the tooth is not whole. It is not fully strong the way it was before. So we have to go ahead with something called as a cap, or we have to just cover crown to cover the tooth. So where that in that case, what we do is we trim or cut the tooth from all four sides, make a space for the cap, send it, take the impression, send it to the lab. वहां से कैप बन के आ जाता है, and we just put the cap onto your tooth or fit or stick it with the gluing cement, and we stick it onto the tooth. So that is how the root canal procedure is completed. So usually it takes 3 sittings usually.
So next would be the about the mobile teeth and missing teeth. How do you handle this situation?
Yes.
These are my last question.
Yes. So in case of mobile teeth, what happens is once the tooth is mobile, they are not going to, gums are not going to grow back. Bone is not going to grow back. It's an irreversible process. Once the gum goes down, when the bone goes down or recedes, it will stay in that position. When the tooth starts moving, there is nothing we can do. So all we have to do is remove the tooth and then go ahead with the replacement. When it is at a very early stage, or कह सकते हैं कि in case of accidental cases, when the tooth is little shaky because of the trauma, या फिर एक ही दांत कोई तो हिल रहा है, so in that case we go ahead with something called as a splint. जो बाजू वाले firm दांत हैं, we take the support from that and we put a filling material or the fiber inside, and we make it as a one unit, so that जो हिलने वाला दांत है वो stable हो जाता है. So if it is, if at all it is at a very early stage, not कि बहुत ज्यादा, उसमें grades हैं, the mobility or the mobile tooth has grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 in our term. So if it is a grade 1, it can be at least थोड़ा prolong कर सकते हैं उसका life. एंड आफ्टर दांत है ही नहीं, मिसिंग दांत है या फिर दांत निकाल दिया है, देर आर मेनी फिक्स ऑप्शंस लाइक इम्प्लांट है, दूसरा है ब्रिज. ब्रिज इज लाइक वी टेक सपोर्ट फ्रॉम योर adjacent teeth which are strong and firm, and then we replace the tooth which is there in the middle. और या फिर इम्प्लांट है, इन केस ऑफ इम्प्लांट व्हाट वी डू इज इट्स अ सर्जिकल प्रोसीजर, but then again it will not damage your adjacent teeth. It will be like a tooth itself. जैसे दांत का रूट है, वैसा का वैसा रूट आपका इम्प्लांट का शेप वैसा आएगा. We put it in the bone. We wait for at least 2 months or so. We wait for bone to grow around it. It's
I
a
see.
foreign body has to accept that. Body might reject also, body will, most of the time body accepts. There are few cases where body rejects. At that time we have to see how it works out for the patient. So after 2 months, uh, we see whether the bone has grown around it, whether it is stabilized, it is not moving, and then we put the crown or the tooth portion, actually the one which is seen in the mouth, on top of it. So that is how the implant procedure goes on.
Is implantation a very expensive affair?
Uh, Preventing the cavity is a very cheap affair, I would say. If we take care at that stage, then this is the last resort. When the tooth goes missing, there is nothing we can do. We have to take care of our 32 teeth for lifelong. But because of the lifestyle changes, we are not able to do that. Everything is coming quite early. Unfortunately, if someone meets with an accident, then yes. So, but we have to have teeth to chew our food. If the food is not chewed properly, it will not digest. A patient is not able to eat properly.
So do you do implantation there in your
Yes,
hospital?
yes,
Or
we
you do?
would do. Yeah, no, we have implantologist come in and go ahead and do the
Is this a
procedure.
special kind of treatment? Do you
Uh,
do it yourself or somebody else does it?
no, we call an implantologist for the
Implant.
placing of the implant.
I see. So
Yes.
any idea how much tooth implant costs there? One
Usually
tooth
it costs between 25,000 to 35,000 per implant. So there are
per.
different brands again available in the market. Some new brands have come up, but the one which are good and established and you been used for a long time and long, you can say 10-15 years of experience, like 10-15 years of experience, that patient ko kuch bhi reaction nahi hai. It is nicely stable. There is no corrosion. Nothing is happening inside the mouth. It is all stable. So there are those brands also. So the price range varies in that.
So this, how secure is this implantation? Like how
Uh,
long
it,
is it safe to have?
it is meant to last a lifetime. So whenever we put it, it is like a tooth itself, like a root of the tooth itself. If your gum condition and bone condition is healthy, it will last you lifelong till your death.
So now,
Mhm.
Vishal, we all both
Yeah,
will try to
yeah,
understand and recapitulate what
right,
we have learned today as
right,
students. We
correct,
are
right.
she's our teacher today. So what I understood that we should use medium bristles. I'm just
Yes,
repeating for the sake of understanding with the viewers and having a connection with them. Next, every 3 months we should change the brush, correct?
yes,
And we should rinse after every meal,
yes.
preferably with warm water or with salt water. Is it?
Yes, so
No.
regular water is also fine. It is not you have to go ahead with warm water and salt. No, you can
Yeah,
definitely go ahead with regular water also, whatever is available. But rinsing is important.
rinsing is important. Okay,
Yes,
and cleaning your tongue also is very important with the back of the
yes.
tooth. We said, I
Toothbrush.
didn't know this. This is a
Okay.
new
Yeah,
lesson for all of us.
So there are tongue cleaners also available in the market,
Yes, I know.
but somehow people don't like using tongue cleaners. If it is easier is the one which is at the back of the toothbrush or
तो
the
मेरे
toothbrush
ख्याल
itself.
में जूने जमाने में अपने परदादे लोग वो लोग तो खाली फिंगर यूज करते थे ना
Huh.
तो
So, but they used to use something like a datun, sort of a stick or neem stick they used to use. So
या
again,
राइट
that has lot of fiber. There was lot of chewing of that stick. So
हम्म
that used to produce lot of saliva, and ultimately the cleaning would happen. So
can
so
we
I
while the
still
would
use it?
so I think we should promote this dantun no this what is it called neem.
a neem stick or datun they used to call it, but I don't know whether it is available nowadays. We have more refined and more better technology available with us now.
So this could be a topic of discussion that neem dantun is good or the modern brush is good. There's something that I would like to understand myself because
Right.
I'm a what you call a votary of Ayurveda and
Yes.
I write some articles also. So I'm a student.
Mhm.
So I like to compare the modern technology versus the old traditions that we were having.
It was more eco-friendly as well, if I may add. It
Exactly.
is more eco-friendly. It is toothbrush is something now the bamboo stick, bristles on a bamboo stick which are coming up so that they are more eco-friendly, or the electric toothbrush as I mentioned. It is more it is recyclable. The one toothbrushes which we have been using for ages, the bristles are of not that quality that they get recycled. So that is also again sustainability is a issue with the toothbrushes nowadays.
Good. I think we had a very interesting and a rich, I would say, a very mouthful of full of discussion today. Very good. We are so happy that you have come on our show, and I would like to really express my thanks to you. And I hope one day we will meet personally, or maybe we'll invite you for another show in case the people want to have one more sitting with you and
Definitely.
understand. Then we'll trouble you a little bit.
No, sir, no, sir. It's not trouble at all. It's my pleasure. It's been an honor, and my sincere thanks to you to
Uh,
invite me on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you
no,
very
no,
much.
it's my pleasure, and we would like to empower our viewers with new topics
Yes,
and
yes,
everything that needs to be taken care of
yes.
to give them better life and better focus.
Mhm.
So maybe next time, if we can have a doctor or a nutritionist to
Mhm.
talk about, nowadays this wheat belly problem.
Yes.
So, every time I come to India and
Mhm.
I see the policemen walking,
Yes.
dangling with their, big bellies, and I keep on wondering that what kind of nutrition are they up to that they have
Yes.
such big paunch, it matches the potholes of India. So
Correct.
maybe, and on further study, I was told that it is because of the quality of wheat, and we should
Mhm.
shift to millet and few other kind of
Mhm.
grains. So if you come across somebody who can talk to us about
Yes.
wheat belly, so we can
Yes.
have stronger people and stronger police force, I think we'll be doing them a favor actually talking about it.
Definitely. Yes. Yes.
So
Definitely.
with this, I would like to thank you very much,
Yes.
and God bless
Thank you
you.
so much for having me, sir. Thank you so
May
much.
God bless you. And I'll request Vishal to end the show with a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
prayer. Vishal,
Sure,
please
sure.
go.
Sure, sure. First of all, I will thank Dr. Nikita Desai to spend time with us and give such insightful knowledge, and it's really appreciated. So I'll just end this show with a small prayer, and the second part of the prayer is dedicated to you, Dada Dayal. And Dada Dayal always thinks about people around him. He tries to empower people. He tries to help people around him, and so nice of him. I'll dedicate this prayer to you. So it starts like that. आओ भगवान से हम दुआ मांगे, आओ भगवान से हम दुआ मांगे, जिंदगी जीने की अदा मांगे, अपनी खातिर तो बहुत मांगा है, आओ आप सबके लिए भला मांगे. This is our Dada Dayal Harjani. He always prays for everyone's wellness, and that's why we are here. And I am proud to be part of this show and been associated with everyone. Thank you, Dr. Nikita. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
to
so
Dada
much. It's
Dayal.
been a
Vishal,
pleasure. Thank you so much.
I will talk to you about this later on, not
Yeah.
on
Okay.
the show.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
let's
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank
Thank
you.
doctor,
you.
Thank
once again. We'll talk
Yes.
again and
Yes.
probably meet in Pune or Hong
Yes.
Kong. Okay,
Definitely. Definitely,
okay,
sir.
Vishal.
thank
Satanam
you.
Sat.
Hari Om.
Mukhe
Hari Om. Jai
Baki.
Shri Krishna.
Hari
Thank you.
Om. Jai Shri Krishna.